It takes 10 or 15 minutes to warm the 912 Rotax engine up in the winter time. I've got the oil cooler all wrapped up with tape. I know I should have a thermostat, but I've never gotten around to putting it on. But just sitting here to warm it up at the moment. Time to taxi out. I'm at Timaru Airport, which is located about halfway down the South Island on the east coast. There's two very long grass runways and one long asphalt runway which Air New Zealand uses. It's not particularly busy, it's just a great runway to fly off. Timaru traffic, Kitfox Lima Yankee November is lining up and rolling, 02 grass, Timaru. There's been quite a bit of snow lately, so today I'm planning a short flight to the mountains to check out the snowfall, so sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm flying a Kitfox 4 from the 90s era. I originally bought it in Sacramento, California. I shipped it out to New Zealand in the early 2000s and I first flew it in 2006. It was partially built when I bought it. Still took me years to finish it off. I've had a pretty good run with it. It's got powered by an 80 horsepower 912 Rotax with a 3-bladed Ivo prop. It's got about 400 hours on it now. It's just been a great machine, very reliable. It's pretty much stock, except I have increased the wingspan. It was originally a speedster configuration. I increased the wingspan to bring it back to the original Kitfox 4 specs. I put also aftermarket Grove type gear on it. With a longer wing, the Kitfox flies a lot better. I found with a longer wing in general it climbs better, lands better. At high altitude, i.e. above 8,000 feet, 10,000 feet, etc., the speed's about the same or probably a little bit faster even with a longer wing. It does float a lot better when you're landing with a longer wing, which can be a double-edged sword. It used to slip fantastically well with a short wing and still slips okay. If you fly a Kitfox, you really have to slip them quite often because the flaperons, although they work well for roll control, they don't really work very great as flaps, so you really need to combine the flaperon with a pretty good slip to get it into a short field or especially if you want to lose some height in a hurry. I generally cruise along at between 80 and 100 mile an hour. The 80 horsepower 912 burns between 10 to 12 litres an hour. Most of the time I'm getting around 10 litres an hour because I fly on economy cruise. I throttle back quite a bit. In New Zealand, the petrol 91's about $2.30 New Zealand dollars a litre. It translates to probably about $8 US dollars a gallon. Our gallon's an imperial gallon, which is slightly larger than the US gallon, but we're still paying around $8 US a gallon, so it's quite expensive for 91. So you don't want to be flying anything with that's thirsty on petrol, that's for sure. This is Dobson Skifield straight ahead. You can see the road going around the side of the hill. It's a beautiful day, it's nice and calm. It's kind of late in the day, but it looks like there's a lot of cars in the parking lot still. Off to the left there's Lake Tekapo, and in the distance, off in the distance is Mount Cook, but it looks like it's covered in cloud today. Straight ahead and underneath me there's the Fox's Peak ski field. It's on the other side of the ridge. It's kind of a private field. It's not used much anymore. Didn't have much snow today. This below me there's Dobson. This looks really good. It's not too many people on the field. It's kind of late in the day, but I see one or two skiers down there and lots of cars in the parking lot. It almost looks like I could land down there on the lunar slope, but better not try it. The approach speed on the Kitfox 4 is about 65 with 2 people, 55 to 60 with 1 person, and as I was saying before, I like to give it a pretty good slip with a bit of flapper on as well. Brings it down pretty well. When I used to fly it in the speedster configuration with the shorter wings, it would drop like a stone, but now it really likes to float. So with a bit of a slip and some flapper on, you can still bring it down pretty short. Timaru traffic, Kitfox, Lima Yankee November, short final for 02 grass, touch and go Timaru. If you fly a Kitfox, you'll soon be an expert on side slipping. The flaperons work very well for roll control, and they sort of work half-half for flaps, but not real good. Big flaps are certainly a lot better, so you really need to side slip and use a bit of flaperon, and that sort of comes down okay if you do that. Timaru traffic, Kitfox, Lima Yankee November, short final for 02 grass, full stop Timaru. I normally approach at about 65 with 2 people, or 60 mile an hour with 1 person, and slow it down to 55, 50 over the threshold, and the stall speed's about 45. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Timaru traffic, Kitfox, Lima Yankee Novembers, left down 1 for 02 grass, full stop Timaru, 800 foot pattern altitude. Timaru traffic, Kitfox, Lima Yankee November, short final for 02 grass, full stop Timaru. I normally approach about 65 mile an hour with 2 people, 60 mile an hour with 1 person. You can slow it down as low as about 55 with 1 person and get a little bit slower over the threshold, and the stall's usually around 45 or so. Gotta concentrate on landing. Here we go. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Timaru traffic, Kitfox Lima Yankee November, short final for 02 grass, full stop Timaru. The approach speed on the Kitfox, I use about 65 with 2 people, or down to as low as 55 for 1 person, usually around 60, and you can slow it down a bit further before you touch down. I'm slipping again as usual. That's my normal landing approach slip, with about a third flapper on, and straighten it up at the last minute seems to work pretty well. If you fly a Kitfox, you'll become very proficient at slipping quite quickly, as the flaperons, while working well for roll control, don't really work fantastic for getting down in a hurry.